pulled out. Okay, so the withdrawal list, we have Milos Raonic, he's pulled out. Karatsev, he's also pulled out. McDonald won't be playing this one either. Novak Djokovic, biggest name to pull out of this event. And Stan Wawrinka will also be missing from this tournament. Djokovic and Wawrinka, I think, are focusing more on clay court tennis, so that's why they won't be featured this year. All right, top of the draw, we've got 32 seeds in this one, and all 32 seeds get a bye in the first round. Carlos Alcaraz is the number 1 seed, gets a bye in the first round. He'll take on either Vukic or Baena in the second round. Then you got Dusan Lajovic taking on Gael Monfils. Winner plays the number 32 seed Coric in the second round. So Monfils, Coric, winner plays Alcaraz could be the combination of matches that we get. Then you've got 23rd seed Musetti, gets a bye in the first round. He'll take on either Safiullin or a qualifier in the second round. Then you got Landalucci taking on Manar. Winner of that will take on the number 16 seed Shelton in the second round. Shelton Alcaraz, 4th round. Love that. Love that. There are some more good players in this section, though. Of course, we're going to be watching Alcaraz. You've got Shelton in there as well. Coric and Musetti, they can have good weeks. Monfils, though, he is definitely a danger player after what happened last week. Did really well in Indian Wells. And Safiullin also shouldn't be overlooked in this section. So it is a little bit awkward there for Alcaraz. Okay, next section of the draw, we've got Grigor Dimitrov, number 11 seed, gets a bye in the first round. He'll take on either Tabilo or a qualifier in the second round. Then you got Ruusuvuori versus Hampton. Winner of that will take on the number 19 seed Mannarino in the second round. Then you got the number 28 seed Korda, gets a bye in the first round. He'll take on a qualifier in the second round, because we've got 2 qualifiers going at it. Then you've got Gallen taking on Shevchenko. Winner of that will take on the number 8 seed Hurkacz in the second round. So Hurkacz Korda could be a third round. You could be getting Dimitrov and Hurkacz playing in a 4th round. Winner plays Alcaraz. So again, just awkward matches. Of course, you've got to watch out for Hurkacz. Won this tournament a couple of years ago. You've got to watch out for Dimitrov. He's been having some really good form the last 6 months. Also, Korda. If he can come good and serve big, maybe the conditions might suit his game. So definitely one to watch as well. And Ruusuvuori, as an unseeded player, definitely an awkward unseeded player there for that section. Okay, next section of the draw, we got Zverev. The number 4 seed gets a bye in the first round. He'll take on either Auger-Aliassime or a qualifier in the second round. Then you got Sonego taking on Evans. Winner of that will take on the number 31 seed Eubanks in the second round. Then you got the 20th seed Cerundolo, who did well here a couple of years ago. Gets a bye in the first round. He'll take on either Obner or Nishikori, who's a wild card at this event, coming in for the first time in a long time after injury delays. Then you've got Jarrett taking on a qualifier. Winner of that will take on the number 15 seed Pashinov in the second round. So again, awkward kind of Zverev, FAA second round. Eubanks did well here last year, awkward as well. Hashanov is always tough. Cerundolo has been good here before. So, yeah, Zverev's got a bit of an awkward draw as well, along with Alcaraz. I mean, the top section of the draw for the big names, not straightforward. Next section of the draw, you've got Alex de Minaur, the number 9 seed, gets by in the first round. He'll take on either Muller or Kwon in the second round. Then you've got Oldmayer taking on a qualifier. Winner of that will take on the number 24 seed Struff in the second round. Then you've got the number 26 seed Lehechka getting a bye in the first round. He'll take on either Popperin or Diaz Acosta in the second. Then you've got a qualifier taking on Marozsan. Winner of that will take on the number 6 seed Holger Rune in the second round. This section of the draw is the toughest. I mean, you've got de Minaur, you've got Rune, you've got Lehechka, of course, who's played well in recent times. Also Struff shouldn't be overlooked as the number 24 seed there. He has a big game, and maybe that will suit in Miami. But very, very interesting section, of course. The Zverev section and the Rune section will take on the Alcaraz section. So we could be getting Alcaraz versus Zverev in a semifinal. We could be getting Alcaraz versus Rune in a semifinal. Maybe Alcaraz versus de Minaur, if you want to go with something a little different. Or if you don't think it's going to be Alcaraz, maybe you get Zverev versus Hurkacz in the semis. Or maybe it's Zverev versus Shelton, if you want to go with something even more outside the box, or maybe even Zverev Dimitrov, something like that. Very interesting combinations, and it's not as easy as it seems on that section. Okay, bottom half of the draw now, we've got Ruud, number 7 seed, gets a bye in the first round. He'll take on either Kotov or Van Asch in the second round. Then you got Kecmanovic versus Zong. Winner of that will take on the 27th seed Fakina in the second round. Then you've got the number 22 seed Jarry. He'll take on either Draper or Daniel in the second round. Then you've got Thompson taking on Borges. Winner of that will take on the number 12 seed Fritz in the second round. And again, pretty stacked. I mean, there's these little sections of the draw where it's just sort of, there's a lot of interesting names there. You've got Ruud, who's been good here before, made a final. You've got Fritz, who's playing at home, always dangerous. You've got Fakina, who could be awkward. Jarry can be good. And then some of the unseeded players here, you've got Draper, who is definitely can be a threat if his body holds up. Again, just awkward for the big names. Next section of the draw, you've got the number 14 seed on Bear. He gets by in the first round. He'll take on either Hichikata or Van der Zandschulp in the second round. Then you've got Giron versus Kopfer. Winner of that will take on the number 18 seed Baez in the second round. Then you've got the 30th seed Norrie. He'll take on either a qualifier or Kabali in the second round. Then you've got Purcell taking on Fucsovics. Winner of that will take on the number 3 seed Medvedev in the second round. So Medvedev on Bear, fourth round. That's awkward, especially because on Bear's been in good form. Medvedev made the final last week. That could be a very tough matchup. You got to watch out for Medvedev. Got to watch out for Humbert. Norrie, of course, got to watch out for him. He can throw up some surprises. And Baez has been good on clay, so we'll see whether or not that translates. So definitely got to watch out for the seeds there in this section. All right, now we go to the bottom sections of the draw. You've got number 5 seed Rublev. He gets by in the first round. He'll take on either Mahatch or Blanche in the second round. Then you've got Murray Berrettini, one of the best first rounds, if not the best first round of the draw. Winner of that will take on the number 29 seed Echeverry in the second round. Then you got Bublik, the number 17 seed. He'll take on either Feast or Rinaldi in the second round. Then you got Tadiri taking on Shapovalov. Winner of that will take on the number 10 seed Tsitsipas in the second round. This section is rough. You've got Rublev, you've got Tsitsipas, you've got Bublik. Bublik's been playing well. Rublev, Tsitsipas both losing in upsets last week. Shapovalov's in this section. Obviously, Andy Murray is awkward always. And Berrettini also coming back from injury could be an awkward opponent. So this section might be the most stacked section of the draw. And then the bottom section of the draw, we've got number 13 seed Paul gets a bye in the first round. He'll take on either Dam or Zong in the second round. Then you've got O'Connell taking on a qualifier. Winner of that will take on the number 21 seed Tiafo in the second round. Then you've got the number 25 seed Griekspoor. He'll take on either Mickelson or a qualifier in the second round. Then you've got Cashin versus a qualifier. Winner of that will take on the number 2 seed Sinner in the second round. And I know I've said it pretty much every time, but again, awkward for Sinner. There are awkward matches. You know, Paul made the semis last week. Probably should have made the final in Indian Wells. He could be a fourth round opponent for Sinner. You've got to watch out for Sinner. You've got to watch out for Paul. You've got to watch out for Tiafo as well, who we know can catch fire in America. And, of course, this half of the draw, this quarter of the draw, the Sinner quarter will take on the Medvedev quarter. So we could be getting Medvedev taking on Sinner taking on Medvedev. We could be getting Sinner taking on, if we want to go something different, maybe Rude. If Medvedev doesn't make it that far, if you want to go even more outside the box, maybe Sinner versus Fritz or Sinner versus Humbert could be a matchup. Or if you don't think Sinner's going to make it, you could go with Medvedev taking on Tsitsipas, Medvedev taking on Rublev. You could even go Medvedev versus Paul, which was a rematch of what we saw last week in India Wells. It was a very close matchup as well. So very, very fun draw for this one and very evenly spread. It doesn't feel like anyone's got like the worst draw, but everyone has their awkward opponents. Like there's no easy draw really. But let me know down in the comments below if you're watching this later. Who do you think is going to win in Miami? This is going to be a really fun tournament. The last hardcourt event until I think after Wimbledon. Last chance for the hardcourt specialists like Medvedev to win this trophy. And he is the defending champion, Medvedev, and he did beat Sinner in the final. So we might get that rematch.
Good afternoon, everybody. My throat doesn't feel very good, so I'm not going to raise my voice. Let's go through some of this quickly, and then I'll try to get Ham on, and I'll end it at 4 o'clock roughly. Let me see what the scores are around the league. ZJYL at 350, GTII at 28, DBMM at 5 cents, TELO at up 33 at 516. GNS is down 10 cents. Root is down 7. CRTD is down 54 cents at 472. ZJYL is up 36.5 at $3.49. And somebody just mentioned Finger. Let me see where that is. It's down either 10 or 19 cents. Down 10 cents, $2.08. Mark, you are the first. Mantan second. And then Matt. Matt can change it around. He could delete Mark and Mantan, and then Matt would be first. Hey, Mark. Hey, Eddie. Frank. Dennis, it's the Miami Open. Djokovic isn't playing. That's where I first saw him play. That's where he was just a kid. And the stands were mostly empty. I got a sunburn, I remember. But that's when I predicted he would go far, because I had never seen anybody return everything the way Jimmy Connor used to do it. There's a couple that do it now. I would say Medvedev is pretty good at returning everything. Sorry. I should have muted that. Why would you think it's gone? Why would you think it's gone? There's a bid of 20 cents, Connie. I'm sure you could, if you sold your shares at 20 cents, you could be the volume and you could prove to yourself that it trades. But I think a better way is that it trades by appointment. You've got the volume, average volume, 700 shares a day. So it trades by appointment, Connie. It's easy to borrow. The one to look at there is RCRT, because that's who they're doing something with. And that's $1.61. And that's hard to borrow. But I don't know what's going on. Connie, you've been here, I think it was in August when I saw the deal that these guys signed with Aubrey Advisors. And to put it mildly, I lost my cool, because that was a bad deal. And I predicted it then that it was. Of course, no one wanted to listen to me or hear me, but it wasn't good. And Connie, you know that shorts, criminals, naked shorts, counterfeiters are in every stock we're in. And what is their game plan? They meet a company who needs capital. They start shorting that stock. They deliver that money raised to the company after they sign a contract, which is dilutive, which is, in my opinion, criminal in the first place, and is toxic. It's a death spiral. They drive the stock price downward, and the CEOs listen to their lawyers. They go to school with these bankers. These bankers dress well, go to all the fancy parties, donate to the temple, donate to the Museum of Modern Art. Hey, they got to be good guys. Donate to Children's Hospital. Got to be great. So they do business with them, and their company gets destroyed. They don't go away, Connie, Liv. I mean, respectfully, that's an idiotic question. is it gone? It's idiotic. I don't think you should be in the market with a question like that, frankly. It's a level of stupidity. Not that you're stupid, but that question is at a level of stupidity that I think you should take your money out of the market, go down to Chase Manhattan, put it in a CD. But I'm optimistic that our CRT is behind. Anyway, to finish my thought, when the Aubrey advisors set up management for a fall in Logic and CAUD, and then their clients pulled the rug out from under all shareholders and destroyed it, both companies. It wasn't algorithmic trading. It's the sponsors. It's the capital formation pretenders. It's the smiles on Wall Street that did it. They sold stock. They never delivered. Why? Because Gary Gensler allows it. Deanna Friedman couldn't care less. She makes her $2 million a month. Robert the Crook Cook couldn't care less. He's got daughters or children in school. Why should he worry about the schlebs? And Chuck E. Cheese, Cromwell, C.C. the Third, the Toyd, he couldn't care any less about over the counter. He gets paid well. He can smile. He can pull the birds if he wants to, take vacations. Why should he be worried? So they short the stocks. And what happened to CAUD when Aubrey SPAC Bus Trust number 1 de-SPACed is they took a company that was trading at $38 a share. Somebody called NASDAQ and said, hey, they don't have enough shares to trade. NASDAQ, who's in the pocket of the big Wall Street boys, stopped trading. The stock plummeted to $15. And then 2 days later, that issue was resolved. You and I couldn't sell our CAUD. I still can't, but the majority of it. But somebody sold a ton of it. Someone sold 100 million shares. Now, there's apologists out there that say, oh, you just see the sales. You don't see during the day the buyback. Well, that's still illegal, by the way. Selling stock intraday that you don't have. Still illegal. But no one enforces it. There's too much money to be made to steal from you, Connie Liv. That's what they do. Well, anyway, they took it down under $1. And then the other company was Logic. They took down under a penny briefly, I think. And now it's $1 and a penny and a half. Management, there was only so much management. The sponsors populated the board at CAUD. The sponsors, I guess, don't care about Logic. And then the advisors at Chadron got paid by the money that Polar raised at your detriment in a toxic deal. The lawyers got paid because, lawyers are great. Lawyers are always honest. Lawyers always tell the truth. They're officers of the court. Your Honor, it's provided for in the, Your Honor, Gary Gensler, blah, 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 Goldman Sachs, blah, 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 great client, blah, 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 Your Honor. So, Connie Liv, they destroyed these two companies. The management of these two companies also manages GoldLogic. They destroyed RCRT, by the way, which is now coming back up. And I don't know why, Connie. I don't know why you don't see it. I don't know why the CEOs don't see it. I don't know why the boards don't see it. It is a setup. So major pools of money can make the easiest trade that ever existed. The only thing they need is dishonest attorneys to cover their ass and a dishonest regulator in the form of Gary Gensler to look the other way. That's all they need. So they destroyed the market caps of these companies. There's only a limited amount of manpower at the top. So in the case of GoLogic, as you know, Connie Live, it's not gone. They announced their transaction. And for whatever reason, it's taking time. That's what happens. Transactions take time. Lawyers lard up their bill by taking time, because lawyers went to the best schools, and lawyers deserve to be paid $1,500 an hour because they exist. Financial introducers deserve to get paid because they brought a sponsor. Look at Aubrey Spack. They did a great job. They left two companies in ashes, but hey, they're good guys. So, Connie, I think what happened is that the people involved focused on CAUD. And I actually am quite optimistic on CAUD. This new guy, Peter Boards, is terrific. I think he is studying the issue with the capital raises out there. And I think he is going to follow a strategy that's going to maximize benefit for shareholders and build a kick butt team, company. So, but I think they de-SPAC'd in November. It took December, January to cover the damage from the hurricane that Aubrey advisors, at a minimum, didn't protect their client from. I think their real client is the big pool of money in the hedge funds, but I don't know. That's their conflict to explain. Apparently, they're good guys. So that took at least 60 days, and it's taking ongoing efforts. But that was a shell shock. Aubrey advisors promised, and Cadon Chadron advisors promised this stock would be $25, $30. It went down to $2, under $1. So management got focused on that. But Connie Live, that same management is GoLogic. GoLogic was a spinoff of Logic a couple of years ago. They've continued to work. I'll go over the news stories. I'm not going to do it now, but they announced their transaction. They've announced it. It may be being tweaked. It may be being changed a bit, but it's still out there, and it's going to be valuable to shareholders at GoLogic. I don't have any inside news on it, and if I did, I couldn't talk about it. But I think people that own GoLogic, I do, are going to make a lot of money. But it's the same criminal blind spot CEOs do not see. They go to these glossy offices, Monets on the wall, Oriental rugs, vroom vroom cars out front, hot chicks on the secretarial pool, and they go, wow, there's money here. Well, the only money there is as soon as the CEO talked to the front started selling the shares in the open market. As soon as they sign a toxic convertible note, a death spiral note, a formula note, a VWAP note that pays out in tranches at a discount with a backward look and warrants, and the criminal lawyers on the other side, it's all over. They're just giving you your own money, but they spend your money well. But anyway, Connie, just sell GoLogic. I can't give you financial advice. Just sell it. move on, put your money. Connie, I think you're one that needs to put your money in a CD at a bank. I don't think you should, with questions like that, they show no intelligence and no interest and no paying attention anyway. So I just don't think you should be in this part of the market. You can go, there's ETFs out there. If you want some stocks you could buy and give your level of attention to, set it and forget it. Go buy Freeport McMoran, copper company. The shorts can't short that. Go buy Freeport McMoran. Go buy Apache, APA. Go buy Exxon. Just put your money somewhere else, Connie. Hey, Darren, how are you? Hey, Linda Telly. Let me see if I can get Ham coming on. Okay, I sent it to him. Girth Mike 10 SNE1. Is that a zip code in London? Hey, Rob. By the way, Connie, the one thing about a stock that trades by appointment, if you can slowly build your position, you might have a nice profit there. All right, you're live.
Hello.
You're live.
All right, I'm alive. That's all that counts.
You're alive and live.
You know, I just start off with people were texting me last night. That guy Lou passed away or something. I'm not sure. I if he did, it just shows you that Father Time always wins, right?
Yeah, no one's ever beaten time.
No one's ever beaten the clock here. So all these guys like Lynn Partners, the Kramers, all kind of steal their way to the promised land. Everyone goes the same way. And I don't know why these guys continue to steal, could do whatever they're doing. Ken Griffin's got more money. He could choke on it forever. How he doesn't just pack up and say, I'm done and walk away, instead standing here. They're insane.
Well, it'll be disappointing to them if there is an afterlife. And if you were supposed to be good in this life, they might be headed for disappointment.
They're all busted out. They're all busted already. Everybody knows they're criminals.
Yeah.
Everywhere he goes in life, there's someone going to be in the crowd. I didn't do it. But you know what? If I wasn't all over Twitter yelling every day, when he came up next to me, I would have called him a criminal. So at the end of the day, wherever he goes in life, everyone's going to look at him as a criminal. He thinks that his money can hide him behind his walls. It doesn't make a difference. He's getting older. Where are you going? So again, killing people. That guy, Dirty Doug from Virtue, that Pedro guy keeps killing him. He's shorting, spoofing. I think it was Northwest Bio. He got caught doing.
Right.
I mean, it's cancer companies. I mean, it's just remarkable. Anyway, let's change the subject. I hope they all fucking die. I could kill us. Anyway, let's move on to
of natural causes. You're not threatening them.
No. They hope they get cancer and whatever the hell has to happen to them. Let them suffer like everyone else. Anyway, I just wanted to show people, listen, I can trade all day long. I'm doing this to help everyone. Yourself, my family, everybody. I posted 15 times on the video. And I'm 15 for 15 almost and calling the moves on the stock intraday. I don't want to sit here and do it. But I've told you the other couple of days, the trade is to the short side. Today they drove it down. It was down $26, $27 at one point today. I posted the selling stopped, buy calls. The stock ripped. It's now back 25. It's up 14 now. It's going to break through 900. I said, tomorrow, after they break it through, you'll get another squeeze here, and then you can short it. So what I'm trying to tell you is that I can trade. I can do it all day long. I don't need to do all this aggravation. I'm doing it to help people. If you don't think I'm going to help you, then don't follow me. I could give a rat's ass. All right? But professional people know how to make money trading. The money is great, but I don't want to be tied to a machine all day looking at it. That's the only thing that's changed is my life. I don't want to do that anymore. And trading requires you to sit down and study it. Even if you make the sale, you got to try to figure out the next trade, setting it up. Where do you think it's going to go? What's going to happen? Am I going short? Am I going long? So it's a study all day long. It's not just guessing and picking a spot. But I do not want to do that anymore. I want to finish what we started here, and that is exposing what we see in the stock market every day. And that is counterfeiting. Spring Emotion, from the get-go today, they came in and started washing blocks and then started with the machine gun. 25 shares, just relentless every second. Just selling it. And it's just remarkable. And I posted, out of the 236,247 now that's traded, 200 is easy washed fake trades. I'm sure some people bought it in the middle of this whole thing, but most of that volume is all fake. And you're going to see today, the naked short number is going to be, yesterday was 11%. How does the stock go down when there's no selling? That's because they're washing it back and forth. And today's number is going to be the same type of low number, but I just showed you 200 out of 247 out of 250 is fake. You remove that. And of course, if you take away that number, if it's 10, 20%, when you drop the number to this, it's like, it's going to be enormous, the number. It's just complete manipulation. They know we're watching the numbers, so they change it around. They're not that stupid. They know what we're doing. They know we're watching it. All right, so again, KNW, let's look at this one for a second. Who's buying this stock? It's got a $12 million debenture on it, a debt spiral note. So what I think Lynn Partners is doing here, if they sold stock at 90 cents and they're basically using whatever stock they sold, trying to buy it back and hold it up. They're trying to orchestrate it, trying to hold it firm so people come in and buy it. And I expect the CEO will come out with another press release soon, trying to pump it up again, trying to rope in buyers. And that's why I keep repeating to everybody, KNW has a $12 million toxic debt on here. No, I don't want to see people buy it. The CEO needs to come out and address what he did. If he doesn't know about it, I'm sure he knows about it now. But I can't have it on my conscience that I watch these guys just raid and rob these people. Even though they're from Seattle, and I don't give a fuck about the people from Seattle. Even my friends are from Seattle, fuck them. And if you're too stupid to read and do your homework, I don't really give a shit what happens to you. They should be thanking me for telling them what's going on. Go look at their track record. Everything they do, they destroy. Zero. Nothing goes up. Everything goes down. And William, we all know, their partner's up 220%.
Oh yeah.
The richest guy in Australia having a blast.
Well, you couldn't even embarrass him off of that website. He's not embarrassed. He's part of a criminal group, and it doesn't bother him.
He wants to be the richest guy, and that's what he does. So for doing that, they kill people. They're going after people with diabetes. This guy has a monitor, and no one gives a shit.
Yeah.
That's it. He'll just kill him. He doesn't care. You got diabetes? Screw you. We can't get diabetes. We're Lynn Partners. We can't get that. We don't get any of these things. GTII, 30 cents, around 30 cents all the time. Opened at 30, 29, and hit. Same nonsense. Nothing going on there. TELO bounced back a little bit. My friends own the whole goddamn float. and they just keep trying to hold it down. The one guy bought the whole IPO at 7. If anybody knows what the company's doing, it's the guy who bought the whole 1,000,000 shares, correct?
You would think so.
Well, no, he's got to be completely insane because the short sellers know better. They're determining the price that the stock should be at 540, not 7. So they've been selling it. Remember at $9, they were selling it. We don't want it to go above 9. And remember, I always told you, why wouldn't you want it as a short? Let it go higher. Because they're playing with leverage and they don't have the money to meet the margin. The short sellers in TELO are very different from Lynn. Lynn's very different from the Kramers. There's all different levels of shorts. The shorts in NVIDIA are going against each other in here. They're just killing each other in this name. I don't think the funds are chasing it. I think the funds are trading it. But I think the shorts are killing themselves on this. And it's very easy to see as a professional trader. You can see the patterns. It's very easy to see because there's big players here. Unlike the small caps, we do not have the support of funds in these names. That doesn't make the companies bad. It's just that they're not here. They have bylaws and they can't do it. The short sellers drag stocks below certain prices. The guys can't hold it. The Merrill Lynch won't let you hold it unless it says it meets disqualification. The game is completely rigged. For a company like Finger Motion, I'll just switch it for a second, to go from a small cap, bulletin board, wherever it was, to get approved and get listed on the NASDAQ. Since they've been listed on the NASDAQ, it was $9. The stock has been nothing but straight down. Pressure. I wonder what the shorts know that the NASDAQ doesn't know. I think they reviewed all their documents, right?
Right.
I'm sure someone just didn't put them on the NASDAQ for shits and giggles, as they say, right, William? Is that the term?
That's the term.
And its stock has been nothing but down. 0. The only negative in Finger Motion is Lynn Partners signing that document with the company. And since the company got rid of them, they can't get out of the mess. They're doing everything in their power, trying to knock the stock down to get people to sell. But the clock is run out. The company's stronger, fully funded, doesn't need to go back to the devils anymore. And let's see what rabbit they pull out of the hat soon. CEO said he's very excited. I put up there an 11-minute mark on your interview. They got big deals coming up, but he's not at liberty to discuss it yet. I rewatched the video this morning and I highlighted it for you. So if you're lazy and you can't spend 15, 20 minutes watching the whole video, at 11 minutes, it's right there. And for the jerk-offs that said yesterday that we're shills and we're pumpers and this, fuck you, go fuck your mother. All right? I don't need fucking retards telling me what I know what to do. Go fuck yourself. We're here to expose you. If you have the balls, tell me to meet you in front of the FBI building. I'll be glad to take you in. My FBI friends who are long these stocks would love to sit down and talk with you. So don't blast me. Let's go, big mouths. And William, stop taking calls from these idiots. Yeah. I've told you again, just hang up on them. They're scumbags. They fucked their mothers for a quarter, these scumbags. You want to steal, don't come here. Don't come in front of my face and tell me you're stealing. If you have the balls, show up at the FBI. I'll walk in with you. Anytime, anywhere. Or if you want, we'll take you to the Secret Service. They love to meet you. Let's go in there and tell everybody. Let's see your cards. Let's see what's going on. I'm ready to go in. So unless you're ready to go in, then shut up, go away, and get lost. Go get your pay. Get back to 13th Avenue, 43rd Street in Brooklyn. Get lost. All right? Those are the scumbags that pay people to do stuff like this. And I'm waiting for Mark Bazile to expose this fucking Igor, whatever his name is, Appleton. SHOT did. He's still posting on Twitter. I wish I could tell you what this idiot did. The court should have fucking taken 2 guys out and clubbed them in the courtroom for what he did. God bless him.
Thank you.
But that's what should have happened there. How they allow this guy to continue walking around, that shows you what's going on with this country. The guy's not even a citizen, and he's writing negative stories, stealing everybody's money. No big deal. We have to stop it. We have to stop it. Public companies got to sue, and then people post on Twitter, well, give me an update. What the fuck do I know about a court? I hear what's going on, but, I don't know the next legs of this stuff, what happens. It all stems from unsettled trades. All the crimes that we talk about come from one thing. You can write all the negative reports you want, but if you can't short it and stay short, it doesn't work. The only thing that makes these guys live and make money is unsettled trades. That's it. They work at these small day trading firms and they sell stock and they get this guy to post it and they're trying to steal 20,000, 10,000. That's what they do because they don't know how to trade. I just showed you I know how to trade. Very different. These guys don't know how to trade. They know how to sell a stock short, go out there and work as a pack of wolves together, and they attack all at the same time. And they all hit the sell button because they're not borrowing the shares. You don't think we can do that? We can all do that. But just think about when they do that. The stocks go down. The CEO wets his pants. He thinks about the future. He lays people off. He may lay off people that do research for them. And now the company becomes a piece of shit. Instead of having 50 people, he's got 20 people working because his stock just dropped from $6 to $1.50. And he's got to hire lawyers to try to keep him on the NASDAQ or whatever else happens to them. That's what happens. That's what happens when you become a criminal. They see the money. Oh, I made 5,000 today. What'd you do? We shorted the stock. Tony put up a fake story. We bashed it back down, and I made 5,000. I covered, and I'll see you later. That's what they say. They don't see the damage what happens in the public company. The CEOs are finally speaking up a little bit. All these companies, I spoke to my friend at Roth Capital. He's at the Roth Capital conference. And I said, Rich, are CEOs you're meeting with, are they talking about naked short selling? He says, no, because but all their stocks are underperforming and are all down. And he was at 15 different CEOs. I said all the names yesterday.
Well, what will happen is Roth Capital, probably unintentionally, will organize a financing. The stock will be issued from the company at these levels, and it covers the shorts, or it just allows the shorts to continue to leave their shares uncovered.
He was a vice president at Oppenheimer. He's a straight-laced guy. He buys all our stocks. He's a tremendous guy. He's a top guy there. And he's always on the lookout for evil things at Roth Capital.
Right.
And he tells me that they're on the up and up. Now, I'm sure they've done deals that have fallen apart, but my friend assures me that Roth isn't. But I'm sure all the hedge funds that go to Roth trying to get the scoop on things, if you go to a CEO and you sit down with them through Roth Capital, if you make an introduction to a CEO and you tell the CEO you're going to give him money, what's Roth Capital got to do with it? You're pitching yourself. So the hedge fund is telling the CEO that he'll give him money.
Right.
But when you go to a benchmark and benchmark, the finger motion was introduced to benchmark gave them to Lynn Partners. Yeah. That's delivering the devil right to them. That's what happened in finger motion. Finger motion did not know Lynn Partners. Benchmark gave them Lynn Partners.
For a fee.
So Benchmark is involved. That for sure.
Yeah. And they get a kickback.
And for Benchmark, who's a criminal, to actually put in a report that the company's worth $5. Now, we may think that Benchmark is trying to pump the stock up, trying to get them to short more. But Lynn Partners had lost the debenture at that time. And Benchmark put their report out after Lynn Partners, because we reported it on here. We talked about it. They gave it a $5 target. That was after Lynn was gone. So for Benchmark to come out with a report and saying it's worth 5 after Lynn couldn't short it anymore legally. I mean, without against any debenture. That says a lot that the company has value. Now,
on Finger, you have a question. Do you think I'm paraphrasing it. Do you
yes,
think
I do.
Univest
Yes.
will use the $300 million shelf registration to counter the fake selling and overwhelm the shorts?
No, that doesn't make any sense.
Well, that was the question.
No, they would never raise the money down here. The company will never raise money down here.
Right.
The guy, he says it in your video. He said it.
Yeah.
You asked him that question in the video.
Oh, I asked a good question. Good.
Yes, you have one good question. He said he's not raising money down here, and Univest has been an excellent partner for them. And we're all sitting there saying, okay, what is Univest doing that they're such an excellent partner? Well, I can only guess that something will be coming up because the CEO says it in the video. He's very excited about deals they got coming up. So let's all get excited and wait for it to come out. Remember, they don't need any money anymore. So what are they excited about? Maybe Univest got them a new contract with someone. They're Chinese too. Wow. I hate to speculate, but if I had to think about it and stand up, maybe fucking Jeff Easton should stand up and get off his fucking brains for a minute. Give his fucking brains a chance. Maybe they got a deal for them. Maybe they got him a big contract. Maybe they did this. Who knows? But they're not going to raise money down here. And if they're going to raise money, they're anticipating the stock's going higher, right?
Right.
So they're not looking at here. They put out a statement for a reason. So let's see what happens. Do you have any other questions?
Well, have you heard of Bionano I can barely read. Genomics. It's the symbol is bingo, BNGO.
I've heard that one before. BNGO, is it?
Right. Bingo without the I.
That was a big name. They reversed it, killed it. They did the whole thing there, right? They got wiped out. Right?
Well, I'm looking. Their convertible debt is so confusing. On first, they have a liquidity covenant and all sorts of crap. And they did a reverse split 2 years ago. I don't know. I doubt anybody's making money, but it looks like they have, a decent technology.
Oh, it doesn't make it. You can have gold. It doesn't make a difference. These guys just kill anything. There's BNGO, right?
Yeah, BNGO.
Yeah, they killed this company a long time ago.
Yeah.
I forget how long ago, maybe 2 years ago. I remember it was a big name. They killed it. Everybody was talking about it. It's one of those names like CEI. Everybody was talking about it. They reversed it. They killed it. It's just the wipeout has just been unbelievable. And just the opposite has been that stock route. Okay.
Right.
This stock it's still today. I think the market cap on the company is maybe, hold on, let me see where it is. Hold on a second. It's $750 million with the stock at 51.37. It was 60 yesterday. So let's say it was $800 million. When it went public, it was a $7 billion market cap. So even though it's up from 7 to 60, it's still down over, $7 billion in market cap. It's gone. Shorts destroyed it. $7 billion. Not that they were laying into it. I remember it at $14 on its way down to $1. It was trading 30, 40 million shares a day. They were blasting it away. Now think how much money they stole there. And everybody looks at it, oh, it's a big winner. It's not a big winner. People are still wiped out.
Have you heard of Boy, Nancy, Oscar, X-ray? Bionomics, BNOX. It also trades at $1.
Right. Everything's $1. Well, like a dollar store here. It's a dollar store. Everything's a
Yeah,
dollar.
everything's a piece of shit.
All right. Everybody's got the same awful business plan, no matter what you do.
Yeah. And thank God for Jeff Easton and
Well,
Kurt
Jeff Easton,
Kramer.
Jeff Easton found a winner. A company working on a glucose meter. Excuse me. It's going to save all the diabetics.
What's the name of that company again?
KNW.
KNW. Lynn.
They have. I put it up 40 times. They got a $12 million debt spiral note on them.
Oh,
I haven't put it.
just listen to this. This is it's so predictable. The headline: No Lab secures U.S. $12 million funding for company's execution on its clinical R&D initiatives. Announced it entered into a funding agreement for up to $12 million and executed a $4 million close of that with Lynn Global Fund 2.
Of which the company got 3.6 million. Lynn took.
Here, listen to this. I just love this. Philip Vallier. This is the same crap the guy said about Finger. Quote, Lind is excited about its investment in No Labs, said Philip Vallier, managing director. No Labs has demonstrated success across numerous development milestones and has built a strong intellectual property foundation to attract further investment. We are pleased to invest in No Labs to support its growth, and we look forward to to working with its high caliber management team as it moves into its next phase of development. Philip Vallier, the liar.
By the time this company's done,
that's my opinion.
When they're done here, the company, I don't know how many shares are outstanding, but multiply it times 10. Whatever's going to happen, it'll be 10 times, 15 times higher.
It's a convertible secured note, aggregate face value of $14.4 million, and is sold to Lind Partners for $12 million.
Right.
And they've only funded $4 million of it. So after the $4 million,
they used the note
as a backstop for their trading. At initial closing of $4 million, No Lab received net proceeds of US $3.68 million after fees, pursuant to a convertible note with a face value of $4.4 million. So the face is 4.4. They get 3.68. And it matures in 24 months. There won't be any trouble in 24 months.
Lynn has to be partners with the mafia.
And at the company's option, they always say that, at the company's option, over the 24 months, the conversion is equal to the principal amount being paid divided by 90% of the average of the 3 lowest VWAPs during a 20-day trading period. Where do you think the stock's going to go for those 20 days of trading?
The lowest possible point.
And they're so proud of it. And Philip Vallier is excited.
Right. That's what
they're also issued to Lind a warrant. They haven't fleeced the company enough. They're going to also get a warrant for 3 million shares for 60 months. That's just there to cover the prime broker if something goes screwy. And the exercise price is 80 cents a share, which is a 20% premium to the closing price of 66.7.
So when it gets to 80 cents, they sell all they can.
Well, it's also subject, Ham, it's subject to adjustment in accordance to the term. The price is subject to adjustment.
So go look at what's that? CELU. Yorkville did the same thing, and they readjusted their warrants also lower. They went from 80 cents to 50 cents.
Okay, so then listen to this, Ham. Commencing 120 days after funding, 6 months, So that's that. Ostensibly, they're paying attention to the legend on the certificates. No, KMW will repay 1/20th of the applicable face value, or $240,000 in monthly installments.
Where they get that money from?
At the company's option, repayments can be made in cash plus an amount equal to 5% of the repayment amount. So 240,000 plus 5%, or 2 common shares, or a combination of both. Repayment shares will be priced at 90% of the average of the 3 lowest daily volume weighted average prices during the prior 20 trading days before the issuance of repayment shares. For 2 monthly repayments, Lynn Partners will have the right to increase a repayment up to, in stock, up to $750,000. Who signs this crap? Did these people go, they didn't get past the 5th grade?
They basically gave them the money. The company is using it to help expand their business, and they signed a deal with the mafia. Lynn Partners is the Italian mafia.
You know who is acting as exclusive financial advisor to this crime? Do you guess who it is?
Benchmark.
It's Benchmark. The Benchmark company is acting as exclusive financial advisor.
I can't believe I took that guess.
How'd you pick that guess? You got the mafia, you got Benchmark, and you got Jeff Easton. By the way, everything we say on this call is in our own opinion, in our own judgment. If you want the facts, call up Benchmark, call up Jeff Easton.
It's right there. Where are the police? It can't be any easier. It's right there.
Where does KMW? It's on the New York Stock Exchange. So whoever runs the New York Stock Exchange, it's a woman. I can't remember her name. She doesn't care any more than Adina Friedman or Robert Cook or Cromwell Coleth on the over-the-counter markets. They don't care. They just don't care.
The whole crime stems from what?
Not settling the trades.
That's it.
It comes from violating securities laws that were issued in 1933 and 1934. And no one cares. No one cares.
Well, the most important thing is that you stay away from those things. You could go knock yourself out and go try it, but you'll get wiped out. There's no question. They boxed the whole thing. Every angle of it's boxed. The company can't do anything. And they're going to squeeze the company soon because they want payment back. It's the mafia. It's the complete mafia right there.
Wow, there's good news on the whatever this is, the glitterati. Morty is having a baby today. His girlfriend is having a baby today. Congratulations. I hope that's good luck for all of us.
All right.
Somebody's asking you, do you think ZJYL is over?
Yes, I think it's over going down. How's that?
Sunil,
listen, everybody, do you understand what they're doing? They're just marking it down to get people to bail out. The people that own all the stock are not selling. They're just selling shares back and forth when there's no bid. After you bid $5, I'm just making up a number. You bid 5 and you bid for 5,000. They hit your bid. The next bid is 460. They cross 5,000 and 460 and make it look like people are selling. Then that bid disappears and it goes down to 420 and they cross 3,000 down there. And all they're doing is go back and forth, lowering the price so that people think it's over. Anybody can do this. Anybody can do this. It's complete fraud and manipulation. You can see it all day. I put a picture of Stevie Wonder up there to remind people it's easy to see. If you choose not to understand it and you keep asking us the same questions every day, that means you're not studying it. You need to go back to school. If you don't understand it and you want to learn, go pick a stock that Lynn Partners is in and go buy it and knock yourself out. Come back to me and tell me what happens. Trust me, when you get bagged in it, you learn it, right? And that's what we've done. We could see the attacks. We've seen the attacks. We put our money up. And instead of just guessing and calling people up and say, do you think it's over? We understand it. We're nice enough to tell you what we see.
Well,
If you do not want to learn, hang up the phone and go someplace else. There's nothing else to tell you. We taught you every day. We can't stop the fraud.
that's it. That's the thing.
We've tried 1,000 times. I told you. I went to every law enforcement. I can't tell you when they're going to come. And yesterday, I can't remember what the heck it was. There was a crime. Oh, you know what it was? I was watching Zero Dark 30. Does anyone know that?
I remember that one. I think I've watched that.
Okay. And I forget the girl's name. She's the actress, and she's the one that supposedly found Bin Laden.
Yeah.
And she would go to her superior every day with a marker. And she goes, since I found the house, it's been 20 days, 50 days, 120 days. She kept writing on the thing, and no one's done anything yet. And finally, they acted. I don't know how many days it was. But it just shows you the time before people act, it takes time. The federal authorities take time. The FBI, the DOJ said they're going after the short and distort guys. It's about a year now. Okay. Andrew Left said he's living in fear because he doesn't know if he's going to get arrested. It takes time. This is what they do. It's unfortunate that we have to sit here and watch them, but that's what happens. It takes time. So we sit here and we have to watch. You there, William?
Yeah, I'm here.
Hold on a second, William. I want to do something for you. Hold on.
Want me to send it to you?
You got it, Pigeon?
Oh, yes.
I just took a picture of my dog. I jumped out of my chair to walk around to talk to you. My dog's in my chair. And I'm going to send you a photo of it.
Aw.
Did you have a question or you just flip?
Well, no, I'm trying to find the law that requires settlement.
It's all over the place. The law's everywhere.
So Morty's having a boy. Congratulations,
Congratulations.
Morty.
Don't name him Morty. Listen, the rules are on the book. Everyone knows about it. If you go back to Chris Cox in 2008, he did the video. He calls naked short selling. It's a criminal offense. They all know illegal manipulation. It's naked short selling. No one settles the trades. These idiots are moving so much faster than the SEC. They naked short from one account to the other. So I go out and I'm the same account. I bid for 10,000. I posted it this morning. Finger was 215 bid 10,000 or 13,000. I posted. They're gonna wash it. It was traded 4,000 shares. Within 4 minutes, it went up to 60,000 shares, back and forth, boom, all day. And I posted it before it happened. So I bid 215 for 10,000 shares. You following along, William?
Yes.
I go to my other account, another LLC, and I sell myself, naked short to myself, 10,000 shares at 215, right?
Right.
I buy it. Now I'm long in my account number A. Account number B sold it short to me, naked shorted it to me, a different LLC. I bought 10,000 at 215. So the world thinks that I'm long 10,000. I turn around and say, oh my God, I didn't want to buy this stock. Sell the 10,000 at the market. So now I turn around and I sell it down to 205, like you're seeing now. I lose a dime or $1,000, okay, on 10,000 shares.
Right.
All the people that are buying it here are the guys that sold it short at 215. They're buying it back from me. So I lose 1,000. The guy who's selling it down now, he's going flat on the 10,000. He sold it short at 215. He buys it back at 205. I make 1,000. You lose 1,000. It's the same thing. It's washed, the whole thing. And that's all they did. But they changed the level of the stock from 215 to 205. That's all they did. I could do this all day long. I could do it to Apple. You could do it to NVIDIA. You could do it to any stock. You saw them kill NVIDIA. They killed NVIDIA down 120 points in 30 minutes for a reason. They needed to stop the shorts from killing themselves. That's what they did. So they killed it down. And now you can see stocks rising again. It's because there's so many shorts in the stock they're trying to cover. They can't even help themselves. They can't kill themselves. They can't stop it. But if they didn't stop that momentum, it would have went through 1,000 and the stock would have been 1,200 already, right?
Right.
So they slowed it down and tried to stop it.
So here's rule 203B1 and 2, locate requirements. Rule 203B1 generally prohibits a broker-dealer from accepting a short sale order in any equity security from another person or effecting a short sale order in any equity security for the broker-dealer's own account unless the broker-dealer has borrowed the security, entered into a bona fide arrangement to borrow the security, or has reasonable grounds to believe that the security can be borrowed so that it can be delivered on the delivery date when it is due. Rule 203B2 provides an exception to the locate requirement for short sales effected by a market maker in connection with bona fide market making activities. There's the rule they violate, and Gary Gensler doesn't give a crap.
They won't even talk about it. How did they not talk about it?
Oh, they're
You put
good
it on
clients. They're good clients. They're always good for it. They give us commission. Don't worry about them.
They just don't say anything.
It's not in
Never
here.
say-
I
they never
couldn't
say
find
true.
it in here. So they got to get rid of the market. You don't need there are no such thing as bona fide market makers anymore. You don't need them. They just are there to steal.
So go back to my posting of the loophole where the head of the NASDAQ, Tom Gera, in 2000, I forget, 2000, I'll say 2006 or 7, I forgot. He was concerned that everyone was going to sign up to become a market maker. Hedge funds are going to become market maker so they can get the market maker exemption and naked short. And he said market makers are not someone that goes in the box, makes a market in a stock, and just sells. Well, that's what they all do. They just sell, and none of them ever buy back anything. And all these shares are just floating around, living forever. And what happens? MMTLP. Because when you get caught, how could they possibly, after 400 and who the hell knows how many days it is now, not figure out how many shares that actually are owned by the shareholders and who sold all those shares if there's extra ones? They know, they just won't tell you, and they're hoping that all the MMTO people die. All right, whether it's 2 a week, 2 a year, 3 a year, they're just hoping you all die. That's what they're doing. I'm being as frank as possible. That's what they want. All the leaders will give up, they'll die, and they'll just keep dragging it on. And the people in DC, are now worried about 50 other different things than MMCLP, right?
Yeah. We all
had
run
your
out of
win- you had
energy.
your-
We all
You
run.
had your window. The window passed, got nothing to do with you. But now we got migrants running around, people murdering each other, blah, 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 blah. You get a presidential election. They got new rules for insider trading, this, that, this, that. And everybody's just sitting here with their finger up their ass waiting for what? Something that they can't answer because they know time will wipe out all the longs and they're hoping that you sell it and give up. That's all they're hoping for. KNW has now joined the ranks of the Walking Dead. Because Lynn Partners is going to do one thing. How's the company going to pay back that money? So the company got 3.6 million, right, William?
And on a face of 4.4.
And they have to pay back $260,000 starting in a few months, right?
Yeah, 240 starting in
240,000.
6 months from
So in
February.
6 months, let's say, let's just round it up. 6 times 3 is 1.8 million they got to pay back. I'm just rounding it up by 50,000, right?
So they either pay back the cash or they issue shares to Lynn Partners and Philip Vallier, who is excited to be joining in the financing now. Watch where they issue the shares. Down, 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 in order to protect Lynn Partners' buddies who have killed the stock. They've sold stock that doesn't exist.
There you go. It's pretty easy. I sent a picture of my dog to my friend. He wrote back, "Oh, the brains of the household."
That's possible.
The dog's the brains of the household. Hey, so he jumped in my chair. I got up, he jumped right in my chair.
He's a cutie.
Mhm.
He is a cutie.
So, any other questions that we're seeing here?
This is just when we get going, we assume people understand. Why does ZJYL's market cap drop if no one is selling? Does it drop because of the manipulation?
So let's start at $5. The stock is $5. Now, I don't know who the short seller is in that name. I do not know. And I'm bidding for 10,000. I'm a short. And their account B sells 10,000 to me. I turn around and say, "Oh my God, I bought 10,000 as a joke." I turn around and I sell it back. And then I sell it back to myself. And then I buy it again at 475. And then I turn around and sell it back to myself at 450. And they keep doing the same stock trade down. And when people do not have a bid out there, if there's no buyers, because remember these stocks are illiquid, all right? Fidelity, Goldman Sachs aren't buying it. So when retail's not there or a buyer gets plugged and he gets filled, they drop it fast. They drop it fast. The faster they can drop it, the quicker the stock resets, and now it's $3. Then the stock starts to dig in and starts to move up again. And they just keep flooding it at a different level until it gets scooped up again. And when it turns, they turn violent. That's what happens. It's just nothing. It's just them playing games.
Cliff, they're playing games. The market cap, as you describe it, is simply an arithmetic exercise the computer does. How many shares are outstanding times the price, and maybe they do an adjustment for the debt like they should. But that's the basic calculation, and they run that calculation almost instantaneously, but they're not able to keep track of counterfeit shares. That's computers. They don't exist for that.
The most important thing, William, is that every public company should put in their financials. Should be how many shares are outstanding, how many shares are in the float, and they should put the next line should be how many shares are naked shorted so that investors can know. That's fair disclosure, right?
They should have Reg FD required for retail. Because the criminals probably know they collude with each other. They stay out of each other's shite They don't get involved in each other's reindeer games. So that I think they communicate. Oh, you can't prove that. All right. You're technically correct. I can't prove it.
Who's that? Prove what?
Prove what? I mean, everybody always says to me, you can't prove it. You can't prove it.
Well, I can.
It's in the stock
don't-
price.
KNW is a classic naked short. I'm not a short seller, but if I was allowed to do it, I'd be beating the shit out of that stock because that stock is going down.
Why
even a
aren't
threat.
the shorts in ZJYL covering down here?
Because they can't cover. They're the only sellers back and forth. I buy it, I sell it. I sell it, I buy it. I buy it, they sell it. Figure motion, I just described to you. It's what, 280,000 shares traded today, whatever it is. 90% of those trades are fake, back and forth to themselves. That's it. So if you can trade back and forth to yourself all day, how are you to determine what the hell's going on when they're doing it to themselves?
And by the way, when he's talking about trading back and forth with each other, they're taking losses of maybe a penny or 2 pennies or 5 pennies in some accounts. But in one account, they're locking in profits on the way down.
Right. Just think about it. If you're short finger motion at 7 and you're crushing it down to 205, they're in the black $5.
Right.
So just think about if they wanted to defraud their own prime broker, right?
Right.
They can set up a new account at a new prime broker and they could short it at $2. Meanwhile, the buyer is Lynn Partners, let's say at $2. They're buying it, closing out their sale from 7 down. They make $5 and their account is flat. And some new schmuck is short at $2, right?
Right.
And that's how they close out. And that's what the Kramers were doing. They were locking in their profits, putting all the new short sales in some new account. And that's probably hiding in Alpine someplace. And meanwhile, the Kramers are looking at it and say, hey, we shorted the stock, but we bought it back. Who did you buy it back from? Well, all the sales that you bought it from seems to be an account that somehow you're tied to. So
And
they defraud
then
their own
I
brokers.
was there when a CEO told the story of when this CEO went in to see Jeff Easton, and without opening his mouth, without asking any questions at all, the CEO didn't ask any questions. Jeff Easton said, hey, I'm not shorting your stock. And the answer is his friends are. His buddies are.
I'm not doing it. My mother's doing
And
it.
it's all protected by the honesty of the attorneys, because we all know how honest all these attorneys are.
That's all they do. It's the same game over and over. They lie. They do anything to steal. Jeff Easton is sitting here trying to steal money from people that are diabetics. The CEO of this company is working on some device to actually help people with diabetes. They don't give a shit. He's just charging you. Just look at the fees he's charging them to lend the money. He's not an investor. He's a thief.
What?
I told you, it's like the mafia. He belongs in jail.
Before I move on, what's your dog's name? Somebody's asking.
What's my dog's name? My dog's name is Winston. And guess who I named him after?
Churchill.
Good one. Jameis Winston, the football player.
Oh, the
He's my
football
favorite-
player.
It is my favorite football player.
This dog does not look fleet of foot.
He is.
Oh, he is?
We bought that dog from Korea. He was in a puppy mill.
To save it from dinner, being dinner?
And they sent him a little thing over in Korean Air. We picked him up at the airport, and it cost $400.
So he's actually Korean. He doesn't speak English.
He doesn't understand us. He looks at us and he keeps telling us. I hear him saying, "You fools!" I keep hearing him telling us that.
But you say he's grateful because you saved him from being an appetizer.
Good dog. Good dog.
I'm trying to show everybody the picture.
My daughter found him online, and I said, really? We went to the airport and JFK, and they brought this little crate out, a little dog in there. He was, a little tiny dog, and it's it's a perfect dog. Unbelievable.
All right, I'm going to show everybody your
My
dog.
last dog passed away. I had two brothers. They both passed away from cancer. And it's heartbreaking, but it's life. And I hate disease. I hate it. I want to see people succeed. Look at TELO. They're working on something to enhance your life, to make it longer, longevity. It just went public and they destroyed it down. Like they're sitting here like Julius Caesar. Fuck you. We don't need that. Except when you're on your deathbed. Watch how everybody start squirming then.
I like Korean dogs.
He's not Korean. He's a French bulldog.
Well, he came from Korea.
He came from Korea. That's a different story. I got him on sale. We couldn't afford a real French bulldog, so we got a swag one.
You could have named him after Winston Marsalis.
We like Winston. I'm a college football guy, and he's my favorite football player. And because of him, I won $15,000 when he got kicked off the football team, and they brought Tom Brady, and I won $15,000 betting on the wrong thing, only because I bet on him, and he wasn't even on the team.
Why don't you relay what happened to SNOW?
Oh, Snowflake?
Yeah.
What, that the CEO?
Well, no, just how much it was worth when it went public.
No, that wasn't Snowflake. That was Root you're talking about.
No, but Snow was the one. That's the one that's similar to Finger.
The CEO put in an interview saying that he referred his company as a data company in China. This is a new area in China, is data. In the U.S., data has been built for a long time now. Snowflake is the beast of data in the U.S., but they only have 300 million people. Fingermotion has access to 1.5 billion people. What do? They buy sneakers, they buy Nike sneakers, they buy phones, they buy cars, they eat broccoli, they drink alcohol. They're the same, just like us. Fingermotion is building out that data platform. They did it from scratch. They weren't Snowflake. They didn't get $1 billion to go public. They got the contract and they're building it out. And they're building it out slow because they have to build it out right. And that's what the Chinese government likes about Fingermotion. The CEO says it in the video. Listen to the video. The Chinese government likes the way Fingermotion operates. They are precise. They do everything correct. And that's why they're getting all these contracts. And to get a contract to go out, let's say build a car, you got to build a building, you got to get the parts, and that's what Fingermotion is doing. And once Fingermotion starts turning it and starts driving revenue, wait till you see what happens. And that's why the CEO says that he will be the next Snowflake in China. And Snowflake in the US, I don't know how many billions it's worth. 60 billion, 70 billion, SNOW, William?
Yeah, let me look. Snowflake is currently a market cap of
51 billion.
51.47 billion.
And the CEO said, we will be the next Snowflake in China. If Snowflake with 300 million people is a $52 billion market cap, what would it be if it had 1.5 billion? Riddle me this, Batman. So even if Fingermotion was just a $10 billion company, it's a $100 million company now, thanks to Lynn Partners. Do your homework. Watch the CEO, the videos. I'm not making it up. It's all on the videos. I've been following it for 5 years, watching these videos. 5 years. William was just with the CEO. He asked the questions. The CEO does interviews all the time. He speaks perfect. Listen to him. That's just how you find opportunities. It's very different than GTII. GTII is looking to build a business. It needs to drive revenue. It needs to get a business. Finger Motion is in the middle of a ready to explode in business. It's very different. It's got years under its belt of deals and building out things, and it's fully funded now. And they got rid of Lynn Partners.
Yet, I would submit Lynn Partners, clients, and friends still short Finger, because I would suggest to you that there is a massive short position they're trying to protect. So
That's all it is.
So
That's
it's
it.
the frustration is, oh, we don't want to wait. You know, when I order food from DoorDash, it's here in 20 minutes. When I order something from Amazon, I get it in 24 hours. I bought Finger. I want results this year. Well, you might not get it this year, but eventually those shares have to be covered. But
All right, so it looks like Root right now, they're really beating it up. It's down 12. So it looks like the shorts got squeezed up to 60. Whoever was short got roasted. And then when the shorts stopped buying, they dropped. Now becomes the opportunity if you wanted to trade. But it's so dangerous to trade a stock that has this big air pocket underneath it.
would you
So-
short KNW at 68 cents and buy it back under a penny?
Where is it going?
I think it's going down. It's hard to
So
borrow.
I'm just saying that, listen, I would never short a stock at 68 cents.
It's-
You got to be a buffoon. The most you can make is 68 cents,
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
So anyone saying that you would short this thing, I'm just telling you that there's no way I would buy the stock, knowing what all the details are right there. The devil's in the details right there.
Right.
The history of Lynn Partners shows you those details are deadly, right? It's all right there. But why would I waste my time sitting shorting KNW at 68 cents? It's a waste of time. It's like GTII. Who's wasting their time playing stocks back and forth here all day long at 30 cents, right? It's been 2 years it's been here. Why would you sit here and stay short to make 30 cents? If the stock ever takes off and goes for whatever reason, imagine being short at 30 cents and you try. Why didn't you cover? Cover, move along. They can't cover because once they start buying, it brings momentum and they wipe themselves out. And you say, how do you know that? Just look what happened to Root. It started a little rolling of the ball, boom, it went to $60. That's what happens. Anybody who owns KNW, if anyone owns it, tell them to do their homework. You're doing them a favor. They can come back and say, well, the company, yeah, good luck with the company. The CEO didn't read any of the documents that William just read to you. And if he showed you how much they're paying to borrow money, all right, he was better off going to zero, taking his idea and go sell it to somebody else.
He's better off working at Walmart.
Oh, I always said that. He'll be a Walmart greeter soon. Don't worry about it. Because it's too hard as a CEO. They juggle people that are working for you, keep the lights on. When you borrow $4 million, whatever, 4.4 million, you wind up with 3.6 million, and it's costing you usury rates to try to get that out of that mess. You're wiped out.
Finger has to share the market with legacy companies unlikely to win 1.5 billion. So what's your point? Is it bad if they, what if they win only 100 million or 300 million? What's your point? Snow has 300 million market available. I don't know how many they actually have, and it's a $50 billion market cap. So what's your point? They're not going to get
What is the legacy companies that Finger Motion is working with? Does he know them?
No, it's not true that there are companies that have not jumped through the hoops that Finger has that are able to buy minutes and sell minutes. It's only one aspect of Finger's business anyway. I don't think that's a well thought out point. I'll leave it at that.
Well, just go look at their partnerships. Munich Re, Pacific Life Re, AIZ, China Mobile, China Unicom, the Chinese government. Because they wouldn't get all these deals unless the Chinese government approved it, right?
That's right. So this gentleman who's here often thinks that ZJYL is going to go to $1. Very high probability.
Sell it.
Yeah, so get out.
Get out. Thank you for your advice. For those that are following other people, will stay. You can go, and that's the end of the conversation. Don't have to bring it up anymore. If you want out, you sell it.
Yasmina Dukanovic says that Lou did die. So we don't know for sure, but.
Well, listen, again, at the end of the day, time is a killer, right?
Yeah.
That's just the way it goes. So enjoy it while you're here. If you can't handle this fight, bow out. I tell you that all the time. It's not easy.
How high do you think, if there's a squeeze in ZJYL, how high could it go?
I think it's going to be a monster when it does go. If you were short the stock, would you be covering it here, William? Remember, they shorted 20. They shorted 20 at $3.50. That's $70 still, correct?
Right.
So if you're short, now you know why they're attacking it down is because they got to get it. They can't afford to.
They got to get it back to $1. But I don't think they're going to be successful. So anyway, that's what makes a market. One guy thinks it's going to $1. Another.
I bet the Giants. You bet the Jets. That's how it goes.
That's what makes a market.
So congratulations. You think it's going down? I think it's going up. That's it. And Vegas doesn't pay out till the game's over.
Are there more bulls in ZJYL or more in GTII? I
think it's in GTI. GTI has a tremendous shareholder base. Tremendous.
Yeah, I'd say that.
I think I have, from my connections in Abu Dhabi and Dubai, William.
Yeah.
I think I have 300, 400 shareholders just out of there. So that's a tremendous group of people that I know. I don't know who they told. When I was in Malaysia, I met GTI shareholders and Finger Motion shareholders. When I was in Singapore, I met them. I met them in Guangzhou. I met them in Macau. I met them in Hong Kong. Many, many, many. My friends from Hong Kong all moved to London when Hong Kong was being shut down by the Chinese. He left. He went to London. When he had 200 friends. So I mean, GTI is well spread out. Trust me.
All right, it's only 3:30, but there's no more questions of. We can end now, or we can go in for another 30 minutes. Either way, I'm fine. This guy is saying, just don't expect Fingers China market to be so high. That's fine too. That's what makes a market. You can get out early. Some people, like me, think that the market in China is just a borning, whereas in the United States, it's mature. And look what Snowflake did with a mature insurance market, data market in the United States. Hey,
listen, that's the way it goes. It's just you can make your decisions. We all got it. You make your decisions based on what you feel. If you're a Chinese and you understand the Chinese market and you got connections to the Chinese government, please tell us what you know. I would love to know it. Because I don't know everything about the Chinese government. If you know something, please tell us. You seem to think that you know everything about the Chinese market. Share it with us. We want to know. I don't want to make a mistake for my family. I've been in the stock since 2018, and the company was just getting the Chinese license for the top up. Since that point, they now do text messaging, they now do insurance, they now do data, and they still do the top up business. And they're fully funded, and they got a short of 210 million and a real short of 2 million shares. I don't know about you, but a $2 stock, that sounds like a lot of TNT underneath it, right? Yeah. That's what it looks like to me. We even know who the short is. That's pretty good too. And to have those partners between AIZ is a $10 billion company. So you think the stock is going to go out of business even with a partner like AIZ? Or Munich Re, who's looking to buy data from the company? The CEO tells you. But if you know the Chinese government, please tell us what the Chinese people, the Chinese government saying about finger motion. Or maybe you're from China. I think the people that are involved in finger motion have tremendous ties to the Chinese government. How's that fact? I think that's a good one. That's my guess. Because I remember AIZ couldn't open a door in China, and it's a $10 billion insurance company. How do I know that? Wow, my friends knew the people at AIZ. And they say, please open the doors for us in China. We can't do anything in China. And they were trying for 10 years. Well, they introduced the finger motion, and in 10 days, they were already getting into business together. And they couldn't believe how fast finger motion opened the doors. But you wouldn't know that. Little different. It's nice to have friends in high places, right?
It's nice to have friends who are high.
But we have Lynn Partners. Lynn Partners knows it all. They know it all. And they know for sure that KNW just signed their own death warrant. There you go. And I personally think that they're marking up the stock, they're buying stock. You know, you can watch it to the downside. You can watch it to the upside, right? If there's no one on the sell side, you make the stock 69 to 73 and you cross 10,000 at 73. It looks like people are coming to buy it. Meanwhile, they're shorting it and buying it, right? They're doing the same thing.
Somebody did ask you, could you reverse that process and drive stocks upward?
Yes, if there's no selling in the way.
Right.
If there's no one making a market, if there's no buyers and sellers, the market makers should be on the stock for 100 shares to buy and 100 shares to sell and move accordingly. But you can see every stock that you follow, there's always sellers on the stocks. There's always a seller. Always. Because their belief is you can always sell it and buy it back. There's always going to be a seller. That's how they think. That's how the shorts think, William.
Do they they don't have to think. They just have to sell.
Well, that's their line.
It's an arbitrage. Wall Street's about arbitrage. Wherever you can see arbitrage. Their arbitrage is a naive CEO giving them the keys to their kingdom, and they just sell it into penury. And that's their arbitrage.
That's it. That's it. That's the game. Sell it, sell it, sell it. We got the paperwork to protect us in case the stock goes higher. If the company were to pay them back, they'd be in the same position as they are entrapped in finger motion.
Right. That's right.
Finger motion had the luck that people like my friends funded the company and then paid off Lynn, and now they're trapped. So the investors that help fund finger motion are patient because they know the company's fundamentals are strong and they can wait it out because they know they have Lynn trapped. And that's what you're seeing. That's the game. So they're sitting here waiting for when Lynn's going to fold. But we, on our side, we all know what the cards are. We know the cards. We know the company's funded. We know the company has real business. The CEO tells you in his videos. So all the cards are slanted against Lynn. And they think they're trying to knock the stock down to get people to bail out faster and faster. That's all they're trying to do. And the only reason I'm bringing up finger motion is because it's a little more detailed of what's going on. GTI, I can't say that because the fundamentals of the company are not there. The company's coming out with a deal at the end of the month. We'll see what it's about. We need, once they put a floor on the stock, then it changes. But right now we need the floor. But the stock is 28 cents. So the floor is where it is. And that company's got 500 million shares short. So we know what the floors are, but the company has to do their part, and then we can see what happens from there. Finger motion, the company has done its part. It has built out this business. It's more mature than it was 5 years ago. I paid $287 5 years ago. The company, all it had was the top-up business. Now it has 5 different avenues, and they're all starting to grow, and the stock is $205. You tell me that I'm nuts, that I'm in the wrong spot?
Yeah, you're nuts.
I'm nuts. There's only one thing that's been brought into the stock that's the cancer, and that's Lynn Partners. They came around, and the stock has been nothing for sale. Sell, 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 attack, attack, attack. Attack it lower, attack it faster, attack, attack, attack. If they thought they can win, they let the stock go higher. But I don't. There's the same stupid line again. If they thought they can win, they let the stock go higher. They can't win. That's why they're pushing it down to get you to bail out. That's the game.
Do you want to talk about New York Community Bank?
No, I could give a rat's ass about it.
The
I
short,
hope everyone who has their money in there gets robbed. How's that one?
the shorts are feeding on us, and it seems like forever. How will it ever end? How can we get them off our backs? I would say they got to
Listen,
enforce.
you want things like that to happen because it helps us. Because when the cannibals, listen, when they rob the poor, they go to the middle class. After the middle class, they go for the upper class, right? So what are they doing now? They're reaching up into the banks, and they're using the banks' leverage into the real estate dealings to wipe them out. You see the American bankers screaming when Silicon Valley Bank went down. How many billions were lost there? It was $200, $300 stock to zero in how many days, right?
I like this point. Steve Cohen was asked whether he was familiar with Rule 10b5-1. He said, "Ask my lawyer." He didn't confirm or deny insider trading. It's great to be the king and own the Mets.
You're saying that Stevie Cohen was insider trading?
I'm just reading somebody's comment. I wouldn't want to ever accuse Stevie Cohen of insider trading. That guy plays right to the edge.
Not anymore.
Any faith in Wes Christian? God, I don't. Guys, do you want a lawyer to come out and issue a press release to the other side every bit of the way?
That's the long game. That's the long game. You can't do anything about it. Listen, the game is the SEC. We are attacking the SEC for naked short selling. They know the rules. They're not enforcing the rules, and we have to sit here and watch what's going on. That's just what's going on. That's it.
Is Congress ever going to issue an MMTLP subpoena?
I keep trying to tell those people, ramp it up. That guy Don Fizz, whatever his name is, doing a great job. But what's the word? What's the definition of insanity, William?
Listening to you every day? No. Doing the same thing over.
So give up on
over.
going to DC already. Go someplace. They're not doing anything. All those nice people that signed those letters, throw them under the bus.
Why get upset when I ask about Wes? I don't know, Stoney. It just, if you believe an attorney is going to give their strategy and their information out in public service announcements so you can get your questions answered, keep asking it. But I personally
Listen,
think
he doesn't. He can't. Let me tell you this. Number one, West Christian won't speak to anybody because it's considered inside information. So that's over with. I've asked 1,000 times, and he says the same thing. No, we can't speak about anything because it can be considered inside information. He doesn't need the SEC jumping down his throat over what we need done. I got it. That's what it is.
I think maybe what we should be doing is placing our bets and then getting on about our life, because nursing this every day doesn't change anything. And so we get a little short-tempered, I guess. But I don't know how to keep the pressure on the shorts other than the way Ham does it, by being, in my judgment, honest and calling it out. But
why don't you guys all figure out and give me some ideas? I was watching Zero Dark 30, James Gandolfini. How about give me some ideas? Oh, he told that this wasn't him. He's in the hallway. The guy goes, give me some ideas. If we're going to attack, what should we do? Give me some ideas for the truck. What can we say? We're going to put Gary Gensler naked on there? What do we want me to do? Tell me what to do. Give me an idea. I don't even know where to put the truck anymore. We put it in front of the SEC and shamed them to death. Maybe we put it in front of Hester Pierce, where the hell she's going to be in Tampa.
yeah,
What are we supposed to do? How brutal would you like me to make it? Give me an idea. I don't know. I'm blank. I possibly can't insult anybody else. I'm insulting him because I'm tired of my family getting ripped off.
I think
Getting ripped off.
I think what I've decided to do, one, is maybe what you're suggesting, Gimme, or other, finding a company and making it work. The other thing that I'm going to do with Ham is we're going to go to South Korea, Malaysia, the Middle East. I'm going to stop off in London, and I'm going to see if we can get Ham's exchange
We're going to get
up
the
and running.
exchange going.
And then all you need is to make it work for one company. I can bring the entire mining industry and oiling, the resource space, I can bring over single-handedly. Ham can bring over everybody in New York City, and we can just change.
I have 100 companies that would entertain if I show them the path. All I need is a license.
And I'm going to go get it with
I can
Ham.
raise $100 million in an hour.
I'm going to go get that license for Ham. So we're going to do what we can.
You're talking about us making companies delist in the US, relist in a new region, and it'll be a safe region.
And watch one company show results for shareholders, and we'll have a waiting list so long, and we'll have investors. But guess what? I'm going to try to be loyal to you all that I remember. I can't remember I'll need your help. Some of the people I don't care about that are fudsters, but we'll make some money. But we got to act. We can't just sit here and be abused by literally idiots. If you watch Seth Kramer walk down the hall like John Gotti Jr., so self-proud and cigar unlit, you'd realize these are not smart people. They just have the perfect crime because they own the regulators. They own them.
No, the regulators allow them. Their lawyers figured it out. And the lawyers that taught these guys how to navigate the system. That's it. And the prime broker, Alpine, you don't understand. Shutting down a prime broker is a big thing. This is a big fraud. They're defrauding like the biggest corporation in the world. They defrauded.
Yeah.
And they tried to expose they exposed the depository trust. They didn't try to expose them. They did expose them. Because when GTI blows up, they go out of business. And the DTC stuck with this loss. And that's what I think this is all about.
This gentleman is asking, have we ever considered Chinese stock exchanges? My answer is yes. But where you're going to get the least resistance from CEOs is to go to another pre-set up American or British environment. That's what the UAE has.
Well, yeah, the UAE it's it's pegged to the dollar. It's very easy. It's it's a very natural.
Well, and the laws are identical, as my
yes,
dad
exactly. Yes,
from
yes.
upstate New York would say. They're identical.
Right, exactly right. That's correct.
And that the only change we're going to make, no short selling, or
no short selling at all.
None. Yeah, he always says none at all.
None at all. Short selling brings criminal activity. Once you have stock loan involved, okay, let's say you're a prince and I'm a prince, and we both want to go short IBM, for example.
Right. Well, then you're multiplying the number of shares out there by.
We're both going to sit there. If you're the stock loan guy and I call you up and I'm Prince Ham and Prince William, and we call them up, we want
Sheikh William.
We want 100,000 shares. And the guy's going to go, I only have 100. He's going to pick one, and then he's got to look at the other one and tell him no.
Right.
And that's where he fudges it and says, okay, take it. I don't want to get killed. And now you got 200,000 shares.
That's it. It multiplies.
No short selling eliminates the whole thing.
Yeah. And then on top of that, we will attract, we might even be able to do it ourselves in a small way, but you'll attract honest investment bankers. And next thing you know, the New York Stock Exchange doesn't exist.
Well, think about the Middle East. They come here to try to get in IPOs and all this stuff. We will have trade shows there and bring the latest technology to companies that want to go public and give them access to all the biggest VCs in the Middle East. And if they go public there, these guys will fund it because they know they're not going to get ripped off.
KYP doesn't want to see Gary Gensler naked.
I agree with you on that one.
KYP, when you have a match with KYP, I think KYP and Ham should become a doubles partners, and then
that's my goal. I think she's got the right mentality. She's Brooklyn strong, and I love a girl like that. I mean, I don't need her to be hitting the little tap shots. She's got to be ruthless. That's what I want to see. And she's attacking me, so she's ruthless. I love it.
Yeah. Here's a good point. We have to get people elected. The thing about this, Mike Lang, is that this problem isn't innocentless. It's not riskless. In a time of helicopter money, Ben, whatever his name was, it's hidden for a while, but it's going to destroy the United States markets. It's going to destroy everybody's retirement. So, do you think CEOs are in cahoots with the toxic lenders? I think sometimes, either intentionally or they just finally give up and they say, you know what? I got a family to raise. I don't know. I guess the hamster is gone.
No, I'm ready. I'm just listening.
We got 8 minutes until.
I think CEOs, I think some of them are in cahoots. I think that some have a gun to their head. When you look around and you got 40 people working for you, what are you supposed to do?
Well, you end up deciding, look, my health care is here, my salary is here, and my retirement plan is here. And I might not become worth a hunch, as my friends used to call it. I might not be worth 100 million, but at least I can keep my house, keep my vacations, drive the Mercedes. If I take this financing, and my lawyers are telling me I won't be sued because I'm doing the right thing for shareholders.
That's exactly what the lawyers say. The lawyers will give them the clean bill of health. Go ahead. And you say, but they're devils. They go, what are you going to say? Maybe they're not. Maybe they turned a new leaf. That's what they say. And the lawyers sort of shame the CEOs, saying, if you don't do it, Your stock is going to create it. You're going to go to zero. You're going to kill all your family and everybody you got. Remember, CEOs, the first people they slaughter is their family. So that CEO of KNW, he's actually put everybody, I'm sure he's telling his family, we got the money, it's all good. And now what do you do?
Yeah.
That's what happens. All the CEOs always bury their families first.
It's a depressing
Anything
thought.
else?
Suddenly I'm depressed. Rodney
The
Dangerfield's
biggest
line.
thing you should do is stay away from friends that are CEOs because they'll bury you. They don't mean to do it, but they slaughter you.
I'm working on a brand new venture. Oh, yeah. But she just moved into the apartment building. She doesn't know about it yet. I forget how he said that joke. Rodney Dangerfield.
I heard a great one last night from Rodney Dangerfield. I come blank. Oh, I was dying laughing last night.
He's so
about that.
funny. He's
Every night you should put it on, everyone. I know most people are younger, but he just tells jokes that is, like he said the other night, I told you, he goes, at my house, we pray after we eat dinner.
he says that they always tell you that the first thing to go is your mind. I figure they missed it by about 3 feet. It's always your health, Johnny. It's always your health.
Well,
You know my doctor, Dr. Vinny Boom Bots.
But anyway, listen, everyone, I've had enough. William, go take a walk.
I'm
Don't
going to go
stay
walk
on.
my dog.
Give everyone a break. Their ears are bleeding. Give us a break.
I know. I will.
All right, everyone. Have a
All
great
right.
night. And remember, we're going to get the exchange. This has to happen. It's the perfect opportunity, the perfect time. And I actually have a contact, a shareholder, who's a big player with Oracle. And
Yeah,
Oracle
he's very talented too.
he has the back end for us for any exchange.
Hardworking.
Oracle has built cloud stuff for the DTC, all the brokerage firms, and he said he'll get me a face-to-face with Larry Ellison.
He's good.
Because that's something that he thinks that he would do. So we'll see what happens. We're gonna hopefully we can get out of here in the next 10 days, William. So everything seems good.
You're awesome. All right, Ham. Say hi to Winston.
Have a great day.
All right.
Thank you.
Call ended.
All right. Now I'm trying to remember the various things I wanted to finish on. I know one. Whoever asked about thank you for the $10, of course. Every little dab will do you. Can't find it. Darn it. Somebody pointed out there, Mark Maddox. All right, Mark, I just printed it, but I'll do it from my computer here. We'll just quickly go over that. HNRC made their year-end report today. So the fourth quarter report. Revenue for the 12 months was 21 million, up 3%. Earnings for the 12 months was 11.5 million, up 20%. I'm rounding. Earnings per share was 6 cents a share. And now the net asset value comes way down from some of the other projections, but it's still high. The company has a net asset value of 42 cents a share as of the end of the year. So that's still much higher than the 2 cents that it's trading for. I always read out what they say, and they had it at $2.32. But let's go with this one. It's better to be conservative. Their most recent in-writing claim of the NAV is 42 cents a share. Some bullet points. They completed, as we know, the acquisition of Cunningham Energy 100%. And it has a valuation of $350 million if they complete a 70-well drilling program. They were the sponsor of and invested in HNRA, which completed its business combination in November of last year. Permian Basin. 20 million in revenues, positive cash flow, 4 million in net income. Total assets were 70 million of HNRA. That doesn't mean that's what HNRC owns. They don't say. I believe they own about 7% of that, but it's not written here. I'll try to, go through the filing. HNRC acquired 40% in Rhino Energy, which we knew. They own 9% of a gold company known as it's Cunningham Mining, actually, but it's known as the Nugget Trap Placer Mine. And they have a 10% interest in the Karuba Copper Company. They don't say anything about a dividend. I would think that the next thing that'll come is an announcement about a dividend. My takeaway from there, revenue, I love his diversification and earnings. The NAV is very conservatively reported now, which I think is good. And it is 4:00, so I'm going to end. I feel terrible. I happen to agree with you, Connie, 100%. The only stupid question is the one not asked, and the only stupid person is the person who doesn't answer the question. So I will accept that I'm stupid. I just think sometimes you have to think through your question, or at least look at the stock. There's a bid and an ask. There's very little trading, but when there's very little trading, the value may be there. I mean, I own GoLogic from, I believe, $8 a share, and now at 35 cents. I mean, if you believe it's going to zero, don't buy it. But I think the preponderance of evidence is it'll be going up. But with all of these stocks, Connie, the risk is, do the CEOs take toxic financing deals from Lind Partners, from Jeff Easton, from Philip Vallier, or like individuals? And that's a risk I do my best to try to fight it, but when I bring it up in polite society, I'm either asked to go sit at the children's table, or I'm told to, hit the road, Jack. No, I forgot to ask him about that. I don't know what NASDAQ shutting down really has to do with anything. Is it a manipulation? Probably. Is it to help the criminals? Probably. But it doesn't materially change our situ, I don't think. The lowest it will hit, if it runs, if it squeezes, your dilemma is going to be, do you sell at $25 or at $150, $250, or $2,500? That's going to be your dilemma. And my best recommendation is put out orders at high numbers. One thing, put some orders out at 200, 400, 600, 800, 1,000, 1,500. But when it starts to move, feel free to change those orders to something where the volume is trading. I think if it runs, it'll take 2 or 3 days. You might not get the high, but you cannot get an A+ on this paper. You simply cannot. You're going to make a mistake. You're going to sell it at 25 and it goes to 2,000. You're going to hold out for 2,500 and it only goes to 150. There's no way to know. So the answer is take your original money off the table at some point, take a little bit of a profit somewhere, and then roll the dice on the rest. I don't own enough that this is going to change my life. I thought I had 500 shares, but I looked it up when I was talking with Ham a week ago. It was 420 shares. I don't know where I've put all my shares out, but I'm not putting any out at low numbers. Because just to repeat, we will win. Prior to the 20-for-1 split, the entire float was owned by a group of wealthy investors, 1.3 million shares. 80 to 85% of the shares outstanding were held by insiders. The short position was rumored to be 10 million shares. The float was 1.3 million. These guys own 1.3 million. The short is 10 million. Then they did a forward split. None of that has changed. All that's changed is the price has changed. And you still believe that the price that you're seeing on your statement is what the stock is worth. Well, fair enough. That's what they've trained you to do. You still believe that your account at your bank, if it says you have $10,000 in it, you have $10,000. And if for some reason there's a panic financially, you can go get that $10,000 because you believe the system, you still believe in the system. But how did Warren Buffett get rich? He bought Geico when no one bought Geico. He bought the Washington Post at $260 a share. He bought Coca-Cola and others. Did he trust the value that the stock market was placing in his account, or did he trust his own brain? And then did he worry it to death every single day? I don't think so. He said, at some point, Mr. Market, we all buy this crap that the price has everything in the price. No, the prices now are Gary Gensler does not enforce federal securities laws. Gary Gensler does not enforce federal securities laws. That's what his job is. But he'd rather go down in history as a nameless, faceless wimp than someone that stood up for you. Why? Because he hangs around with Hillary Clinton and Bill Clinton. And he wants a directorship at Goldman Sachs. He wants to be Secretary of the Treasury when Joe Biden, the single most popular president in the history of the United States, is reselected for office. That's what he's in it for. He's in it for himself. It's frustrating. No, Ham doesn't know anything about it, little green candle, and it's irrelevant. NASDAQ says tech issue that halted trades for over 2 hours is resolved. NASDAQ said it has resolved an issue that disrupted pre-market trading for over 2 hours Monday morning. This issue started before 5 a.m. Eastern Standard Time and was resolved by 7:15 a.m. So what? What does that do to anything? NASDAQ said it experienced issues with its matching engine, that part of the system which matches buy and sell orders. Quote, the NASDAQ stock market has resolved its earlier matching engine issues and all systems are operating smoothly, NASDAQ said at 7:14 a.m. Oh my gosh, we missed trading from 5 a.m. to 7:14 a.m. Probably, well, I was probably awake, but I didn't have my computer on. NASDAQ will provide a full post-mortem when available. NASDAQ is one of the largest electronic stock exchanges. Monday's outage is the second tech issue in the last several months for NASDAQ after a December glitch caused inaccuracies and delays that eventually led to some trades being canceled before they could be processed. NASDAQ did not immediately respond for the request for further comment. This is dated March 18th, 2024. That's the only article that addresses the trading halt from 5 a.m. till 7 a.m. Monday morning. Wolf is trading at $1.72. Wolf is having a conference call right now that you could listen to. I don't see the earning. Oh, here it is, earnings release. Annual revenue grows by almost 400%. They've mined over 500% of the self-mined coins. Cost of power, 3.2 cents per kilowatt. Outperforming guidance of 3.5 cents per kilowatt. Revenue increased 360% to 70 million as compared to 15 million. Gross profit increased 1,000% to 42 million as compared to 4 million. EBITDA increased by 65 million to 30 million as compared to losses last year. Cash and cash equivalents of 55 million. Net debt declined to 85 million. Oh, anyway, Wolf had great earnings, Mark. Great earnings. The numbers I heard, Eunice, back when there was excitement, is post-split. Post-split. it could go over $2,000 a share. Pre-split, I heard numbers of 30 and 35,000 a share, maybe 40,000. So that's it's not all right. Don't sell, Connie. Just when you ask a question like, has it, is it gone, or however you asked it, it just looks a lot like a fudster. Go Logic closed at 50 shares volume, 20 cents by 40 cents. And you got to ask yourself, if there's good news, what do you think? How quickly does that stock go up? There always is a risk that the CEO of GoLogic or RCRT does a deal with Jeff Easton and his pal Philip Valier or someone like that. I can't change that. But there's also a chance that they move properly, and you could see this stock much, much higher. It was an $8 stock. I guess. I don't know. Southern District Court of New York. Yeah, it's a good idea. We could do it. The SEC is right next door to Congress, and we did have the truck on the corners of the various streets. So Congress did see it. You are not able to get a truck close to the Capitol building. Oh, that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. It's interesting. I've got to check on my shares for MMTLP. I meant to do that today. Because they don't sell very much artificial unintelligence. You're living up to your name. When a company is growing in the early stages, the cost of overhead, the cost of salesmen, the cost of people is high on a per unit basis. If it bothers you, sell the stock, because you obviously don't have an understanding. Let me give you an example. Amazon right now apparently loses on everything it sells. It makes all of its money on its cloud business. Eventually, they are going to run others out of business, and they can start increasing their margins. The cost of goods is high because they don't sell many goods yet. All right. All right, I'm going to sign off because I've obviously reached my limit on being able to answer questions, which is my fault, not your fault. I agree with Connie that the only stupid question is one not asked, so I should answer them better. I wish everyone peace, Connie, peace, love, little green candle, happiness, and when if you have thoughts or say prayers, let's say one for Lou Bravo. Hopefully he's healthy. But let's say one for Lou and his family. And the more you can say thank you, say prayers for Jenny L, I think that's good too. But there's many of us in this community. Say prayers for Busy Brands, and say prayers for Richard Hoffman, and Number 2 pencil. There's a lot of people. So, the call starts at 5. That's good. So I'll be signing off. You can watch it. We did put the truck at the FBI. I think we did that twice. So anyway, I'm going to sign off, and thank you for signing in. I hope, the trend becomes our friend rather than our enemy, and we can all be a joyous group soon. So, peace.